What's up, guys, and welcome back to All Things Awesome Today in Star Wars. That's the channel that I've started to just kind of have fun with Star Wars. You guys have met my boy Snap. He helped me out with the first video for the channel, which was an unboxing. Snap, you can call me Kraken, and we talk about Pop. So that one is called Snap, Kraken, and Pop, where we do unboxing. This is going to be our first little bit of a shorter one. This is going to be called Pop Quiz. Kind of like just letting you get to know your pops. So when we do these pop quizzes, we're just going to go over one pop, try to move our way through the collection, kind of go with not completely unimportant, but kind of lesser known, because like no point in doing Luke Skywalker and Chewie. So we're starting with Plo Koon, because we've talked about him. Like now you're kind of digging him.
Yeah, it's kind of an inside thing. From the last video, if you watched it, I mentioned that I'm a big Star Wars fan, but I'm not well versed in the whole realm of it. So I branched out. He's let me borrow a couple books. I've started watching some shows. Clone Wars being one of them. I'm still in season 1, but I'm steadily Netflixing that up together. But I noticed Plo Koon's character in that series, and ironically, before that, I was talking to him about it. I was like, I don't know who that is. And then I watched the episode with where Anakin and Ahsoka go back against Obi-Wan's orders and try and find the ship that Plo Koon's on. Yeah. And Plo Koon goes about his business and showing how much of a BA he is. And I was just like, wow, that's a pop I really wish I would have snagged up. So basically, when Chris came to me about these kind of videos, I was excited because it's not necessarily that we're like, oh, look at this little figurine thing. It's basically maybe something that you see in a store that you have no idea what it is, but now that you might be introduced to the character, it might be something you might actually want. Chris is definitely going to have more of the Star Wars knowledge when it comes to this specific character. But I am very excited to learn more about him based off what I've already learned. So
yeah, and the episodes he's talking about, that's the Malevolence Crisis. It's right towards the beginning of the Clone Wars season 1.
Yeah, it's like mid-season, like maybe mid-season.
Clone Wars definitely is where the bulk of this information that I have about Plo Koon is going to come from. Of course, there's little tidbits from the movies. I wanted to give you guys more information than that too, so I did a little bit of digging. So in the underneath in the description, I'll leave some links to some of the places I went to. Like one thing I didn't know was that Plo Koon could wield the Jedi version of Force Lightning, so we'll kind of get into that. Before I get into his story, because this is about the pop quiz, why don't you give him some information about the pop itself?
Okay, unfortunately, this one I do not own. I was not able to grab it. I will own it eventually one day, I can guarantee that. The pop it was obviously by the stickers, a Walgreens exclusive, came in a 4-pack, with my favorite being the AT-AT driver in that series.
It's a nice one.
Now this one might be steadily approaching that one just because I know how much of a BA he is.
And that's Kit Fisto 2's in that one.
Kit Fisto and Reeves, which I only have the AT-AT driver of the set so far. So I need to finish it up. Obviously it's number 97. Now I was always kind of wondering why, because we talked about it a little bit in the last video, some people are a fan of the bobbleheads, some people aren't. Why the Marvel and Star Wars ones seem to always be bobbleheads. Mm-hmm. And I came across, I don't know, I can't really quote or cite the reference.
We'll find it and we'll put it in the description.
Put it down in the link. But I guess it's licensing issues, and they don't have the license to make vinyl figures of both those companies. So that's why we get the bobbles of them, which on some I don't mind. Some it just kind of pick and choose from there. They came out last year. I want to say around April and March. They did not last very long, or it might be Walgreens just didn't get very many. That's when Walgreens was still kind of going through. It's like, are we going to be good at this or not? As far as that, that's really the only information I have outside of just they did a really good job on the pop itself.
Yeah, it's nice. The paint job is nice.
The paint job is really good. The mask is awesome. The lightsaber is awesome. Just getting to know more about the character has really even made me, like I said, like the pop even more, which is kind of the whole point of the video. So after that, let's just let Chris take you away and give you some knowledge on the character.
On the pop side, I definitely want that Kit Fisto. It's the only one I don't have from that set. I have the AT driver up there and Yeebreeze, so yeah, I'm totally looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So, Plo Koon. who is the character? Well, he is a Jedi Master. He is a member of the Jedi Council. He had an uncle who was a Jedi before him, and a niece who becomes a Jedi after him.
I saw. Okay. I didn't know the order, but I knew that he had relatives, and they're from Doran.
Yeah, they're from Doran. So it's kind of a family thing, and there's a lot of Force users from their planet. You get to see him in all 3 of the prequels, but he's not a big talker. He's mostly sitting back, like when Obi-Wan Kenobi goes and gets caught on Geonosis. He's in the room when Anakin relays the call because him and Padme had taken off to Tatooine, and he went kind of machete on all the Tusken Raiders, which he's so BA, and then he cries. I'm like, no, just own it. I
pull the Katniss everything.
Yeah. So he, along with maybe 200. I think the number's around 200. I'm sure if I'm wrong, this is YouTube. You'll let me know I was horribly wrong. But I think there's about 200 Jedi. They go to Geonosis. He's one of them. He's there. Of course, Mace Windu's there because he's the one that cuts Jango's head off.
Yeah, go ahead.
But he's definitely there, so you can see him there. And of course, the last time we see him in a Star Wars movie, he's all BA in his spacecraft, and he's flying because he's a dope pilot.
Yes.
And Order 66, and then boom, no more Plo Koon. Yeah, you don't actually. Here's the thing, though. We don't see him die. We see the explosion, then it cuts to outside.
It's a very Star Warsy death.
Like, I would love to see Plo Koon come back.
Plo Koon dead is Mace Windu dead. You just kind of assume that they're gone, but maybe they're not. Maybe Plo Koon is Snoke.
So that's where you can find him. Aside from the Clone Wars, of course, very big player in many arcs in the Clone Wars. I believe, so this is where it starts to get away from me. There is a book that's about Asajj Ventress.
Okay.
And it also, now people are going to kill me because there's a Jedi that has yellow paint across his face. You kind of see him real quick in The Phantom Menace when they find Anakin as a kid. He's in an episode with Ben Kenobi in Clone Wars, but they kind of have a little love story that's going. I've been told there's a little bit to do with Plo Koon in that. Also, I definitely want to read that book, though, because it talks about Ventress after, she kind of falls out and moves on. And then she grows her hair back out. She's looking kind of like, she actually looks kind of hot. So,
there you go. Star Wars is actually trying to make me pick up my reading game.
Yeah, I'm telling this man.
I'm not a big reader.
Next though, I got to get him to read the Darth Bane.
I've started Catalyst. It's good so far. It's really helped me with Rogue One. I have the Ahsoka book already online after I finish the Catalyst one, but I am a slow motion reader. But I promise you, once I finish that book, we'll probably make a video.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
we'll definitely talk about it. Maybe even have my daughter on because my daughter's a huge Ahsoka fan. Huge Ahsoka fan. Dressed up like her for Halloween. But anyway, back to the pop. We're talking. See, we get.
How about we do? How about his mask? What's up?
Yeah. Okay. So his mask. As I said. He is Kel Doran. He's from the planet Doran. This is a planet that has very low oxygen.
Okay.
So it's, we couldn't live there.
So it's not just a Plo Koon thing. It's a people who are from
his
Doran.
people, yes.
Okay.
So what it actually does is it's not an oxygen mask. It's an anti-oxygen mask. He wears it to keep oxygen out. Because everywhere he goes, he has to be in environments where, the other Jedi can breathe.
Yeah.
So he's actually using it to keep oxygen out because it's too hard on his lungs. And also, he can kind of breathe for a while in space, which is another thing because he requires solo. I mean, you've seen the episode.
That makes more sense. Yeah.
So he can go out. And then you don't got to worry about the decompression of your eyeballs ripping out.
That
because
makes
he's got
way
those
more sense now. This is why we make these things.
And then also, it has to do too with his skin. Like they have really tough, hard skin.
I see.
So that helped him in space too to fight the vacuum of space.
A picture of set going on here.
Yeah. So that's the mask someone he had asked about. So that's pretty dope. As far what is he like, his character, what kind of Jedi is he? Because there is usually this typical thought that, oh, all Jedi are just kind of dry and standoff and kind of the Mace Windu type. But I mean, we've seen Yoda loves to laugh and have fun. Anakin is just a wild card. Obi-Wan Kenobi is the very valiant knight type. So Plo Koon's interesting. I didn't know a lot of this before we started researching for this, but apparently he was kind of a smart talker and like always getting on his master's nerves with kind of his wit, which I found funny because when you see him in the Clone Wars, he's very he is. He's very calm, very caring. Like this man cares about people's lives. He puts a lot of value on life. Very brave. So there's that big contrast there that I never knew about, which is so interesting now. I want to kind of go back and look into some more of that kind of thing. That really gets put on display in that episode too, because being that he could have survived in space, he could have dipped out on his clone troopers when the droids
especially
came.
them being clones.
Because they even felt themselves like, oh, we're disposable. That's why we're made. And he's like, no.
That's right, because they didn't think anybody was coming for him.
But he stuck with it. He has a tremendous amount of faith in the Force, as he told them, and he pulled on that connection that he has with Ahsoka Tano, which
is an awesome character. Quickly becoming one of my favorite Star Wars characters.
If you don't know, they let you know kind of in Clone Wars that Plo Koon found Ahsoka and brought her into the Jedi Order. And they have a very close connection. You can see that in Clone Wars. When you read the book Ahsoka, you get to know a little bit more about that situation. He didn't just find her; he saved her. Not necessarily a Sith, but a more Inquisitor type dark side user was trying to get her posing as a Jedi and to recruit her, but she didn't feel comfortable. She could tell because she could sense the dark side in that character. Luckily, Plo Koon showed up, saved her from who knows what could have happened, that would have
the fact that he has anything to do with Ahsoka even makes me like him even more. Like aside from that, he was BA, but now the fact that he helped bring in Ahsoka, I'm like this guy is pretty awesome.
What could he do? Powers. We see a lot of typical powers, so I dipped into the internet on this one because we knew he could be a pilot because we saw him in the movies fly, we saw him in lightsaber battles on Clone Wars, so he has the typical Jedi stuff. He can move objects with the Force. One of the things I was surprised to find out, this man was one of the very few that could use a Jedi version of Force Lightning, which is typically a Sith skill, very much tied and believed by the Jedi to be, the result of anger and hate, and coming out that way. I haven't read the book. I'm not sure where this comes from. This is something I found online. There was a girl that was kidnapped, and he was trying to find her. The kidnapper, he had some words for him and lit him up. Wow. And they were like, "Whoa, do you feel guilt for what you did? You used the dark side power." So he thought about it. He went deep into meditation. He was like, "No, I judge me. I understand, but I don't feel guilty about it. The Force is telling me that I needed to do this."
Very interesting.
He said there was no anger. He searched his feelings because he wouldn't have wanted it to come from a place of anger. So I just thought that's really interesting. I'd love to find that story. The only other time I think I've seen a Jedi use Force Lightning, and it's on a cover of a book that I haven't even read, but it's Luke. And he's kind of like pushing through, and he has lightning coming off his fingertips. So that's awesome. I wrote down here, I'm going to refer to some notes real quick. They called that electric judgment, is what he named it after meditation. So instead of Force Lightning, electric judgment, that man was judged and found wanting. You know what I mean?
Is he wielding a blue saber? Is he?
Yes, blue lightsaber. I've seen pictures of him online with a yellow lightsaber, but as far as I can remember, I think he definitely had a blue lightsaber on Clone Wars. I can't remember in the movie because he is kind of in that big group on Geonosis. I can't recall what color lightsaber he was using. I do know from a little bit of digging in, he did use the fifth form of lightsaber combat, but also because he's a master at that one, that's his main. But he also dipped into a little bit of Ataru, which is the fourth form as well. So that was pretty interesting. And then, like I said, he has the unique ability that he can survive for a short time while exposed to space. I wrote down a couple notable facts of stuff that I just kind of noticed. And I think we've already kind of talked about some of these, that he found Ahsoka. I'd already told you that before. He was present for the Battle of Geonosis. He was shown being shot. Oh, this was the one that I wanted to write down because I did not know this, and this is so awesome. His master, his name was Tyvoka.
Tyvoka.
And he was a Wookiee.
Really?
Yeah, his master was a Wookiee. So I'm like, I don't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth, and you're trying to teach me how to be a Jedi. I mean,
well, no wonder there's a wisecrack.
Wookiee is like, Han Solo knows it, and that's it. Like,
well, apparently Rey knows it.
Yeah, apparently now, even though she's been on a desert planet her whole life, it's really dope too, because later, Chewbacca, in the old, I mean, this isn't canon anymore, but in some of the old expanded universe, Chewbacca had a nephew named Lobacca, who becomes a Jedi, and he has to have this little droid that goes around, and he's kind of like, and then it translates for him. And they're like, it's like, no, we don't want to learn Wookiee. Like,
just chill with C-3PO all the time, huh?
But yeah, so that was our pop quiz for Plo Koon. If you have any interesting tales or facts or anything that we don't cover, please include them in your comments so other people can read them. If we got anything wrong, please correct us, because the last thing we want to do is put out bad info unknowingly. And I'm sure at some point maybe that dude from Urban Acolytes were like, these guys. I can debunk this right now.
Hey, you're my boy, though.
We love that show. That's the only reason we're talking. Like, that man, that and Collider Jedi Council.
Collider Jedi Council and Urban Acolytes.
Yeah,
Shout out to you
those
guys.
two.
You're a lightweight inspiration.
You are. Like, we decided to do this, and we're like, what should we do? And we're like, let's research what's out there. So we watched those, and we're like, all right, we're not as good as Collider Jedi Council, so we'll just kind of do our own thing. But we'll definitely aim for that next.
Like we said in the last video, these are basically conversations we already have. We're just now filming them. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Many more to come. Like you said, things you like, things you didn't like, things we got wrong, things that
Comments. Don't forget, once we hit 200 subscribers, we're going to do a giveaway. So send us comments about what kind of pops you guys would like to receive.
Off his wall right here.
He has better pops than I do. Maybe we should...
We can film there next time.
Let's see, we got anything else? atisw@gmail.com, which... I got it wrong in the last episode, but I'm getting it wrong right now. It's all things awesome today in Star Wars. I was saying today at the end of the last time. Like,
it's all good. It's out there now.
Rookie mistakes. It's out there. So thank you.
Outside of that, may the Force be with you. And always. I don't want to jack our Acolytes thing.
We're stealing everybody, so we're plagiarizing. All right, you guys have a good one. We'll see you next time.